The project for Fire and Rescue New South Wales is improving training access for retained firefighters. We've used a blended learning model for a cohort of 30 retained, that's part-time firefighters, who are undertaking 2 units of competency from the Certificate 2 in Public Safety, Firefighting and Emergency Operations. The project is being managed by myself and facilitated by 2 fire and rescue instructors. Tracy Kick, Assistant Director Education, explains some of the benefits the project has provided to the organisation.
Some of the benefits of the e-learning for participation and skills project for Fire and Rescue New South Wales have included increased access for our retained firefighters or part-time staff in country areas in particular to learning and continual learning to increase their skills and knowledge around their firefighting. The project has enabled us to showcase to the organisation the effectiveness of a blended learning delivery and its application for education and training not only of retained firefighters but right across the organisation, and to consider its application for future education and training programs. Through the project, we've been able to demonstrate a range of new technologies such as video conferencing, virtual learning, self-paced learning, and communities of practice online that have assisted our firefighters to talk to one another regardless of their location. One of the benefits of the project is that we've been able to debunk the myth that retained firefighters or our part-time staff won't be interested in or can't access the technologies available to them. The project has demonstrated that firefighters are willing and able to utilise those technologies. The project has resulted in improved access to learning for our part-time staff who want to engage in further study and training.
The senior instructors, John Cantrell and Daniel Humphrey, who facilitated the program, discussed the program from the participants' perspective gained from informal feedback and from their own experiences. Further benefits are highlighted along with some of the challenges faced.
So John, how have firefighters benefited from participating in this project?
Well, a couple of the benefits are that it's got the portability of their access, so it doesn't require them to have to attend the fire station to access the learning hub. And I think also too, just with that environment at home, might be a little bit more comfortable for them while they're working through the various modules. Again, as well, being remote access, it allows them to learn at their own pace. And the other thing that's, I think, very beneficial for retained firefighters is the fact that they're not permanently on duty at the fire station. They can do it at a time that suits themselves, whether it's late at night, early in the morning, that sort of thing. And with that, again, just takes that little bit of pressure off them to not have to attend the fire station when they finish work, to be able to log on and then access the hub that way.
And what do you think participants have struggled with when participating in the program?
Early on, there are a few issues around just logging in and then navigating through the learning hub. So they were a couple of common things that came up in the early stages. But I think probably as it progressed that we didn't have the full participation of the trial group. So whether some people had trouble with the access to the learning hub and gave up, or just been able to find that little bit of extra time to be able to participate in the trial.
Yes, and that's something we'll have to survey them on a little bit later on.
Yes.
Yeah. And what about you as the instructor? How did you find your first experience as an online instructor or facilitator?
Probably a bit similar to the fireys. Initially it was navigating through the learning hub, just getting used to the layout and using it. But as that progressed, probably the thing that I struggled with the most was just finding the time while managing other competing priorities with our daily work. But what I found when we had our virtual classroom, I thought that was excellent and could really see the flow-on benefits, or down the track how we could use that to our advantage as trainers. And one example might be, for instance, where people aren't able to attend a drill, and we could do what we call a make-up drill with those couple of people online, so it may not require us to actually still be at the station to do that make-up drill with the fireys that weren't able to attend. So I thought that was really good, and got some really positive feedback from a couple of guys after we had our virtual classroom as well. And in fact, one of the fireys that I was talking to thought that yourself, Danny, and I were all sitting in the same room at the same desk, so I think that was pretty good because it seemed quite seamless to him.
Andrew Noakes, the Senior Project Officer Blended Learning, has been integral to the success of the project and provides an insight into the technical aspects of the project development and some of the lessons we've learnt throughout this process.
My main role in the project has been to provide the project team with technical support and guidance. The project is leveraging upon several other initiatives within the organisation that make use of new and emerging technologies to increase learning opportunity and participation for geographically dispersed staff members. Some of these technologies include Moodle LMS, virtual classrooms, mobile devices, and e-learning authoring tools such as Adobe Captivate. The main platform for this project is Moodle LMS, otherwise known within our organisation as Learning Hub. Our LMS is currently hosted by Moodle partner Pukenui Technology, and it's administered by me. In doing so, I've been responsible for developing the course shells, creating user accounts, enrolling participants onto courses, providing training in course development and management, and for identifying and recommending some of the solutions. One of the main advantages of hosting our instance of Moodle externally is the level of specialist support afforded by the Moodle partner, ensuring that there are no service outages and that service requests are quickly actioned. A challenge in hosting Moodle externally has been that we've been unable to connect to their organisation's Active Directory. The problem with this is that users are required to use different usernames and passwords for the LMS than they are for other Fire and Rescue New South Wales systems. As a result of this issue, we're currently working on a solution that would allow our users to authenticate into the LMS using their current network credentials by migrating the Moodle instance to a server inside of our organisation's network. Many of the learning resources for this project have been developed as SCORM packages using Adobe Captivate. Doing this has allowed us to develop engaging, interactive learning material and assessments that plug directly into Moodle, where learner progress is automatically tracked and recorded. We've also incorporated some live training into the project using Adobe Connect virtual classrooms. This has enabled geographically dispersed instructors and learners greater flexibility about the locale of their training. In addition, we've also been able to record the live sessions and post them to Moodle for those learners that were unable to attend. A future development of our Adobe Connect installation is to allow users to connect from outside the Fire and Rescue New South Wales network. Doing so would allow our retained firefighters, for example, the ability to connect to sessions from their primary place of work, during lunch breaks, or even from home. Some aspects of this project have included face-to-face assessments, such as workplace observations. To support the mobility of instructors, the user group for this project have been used to pilot a new initiative to use mobile devices for capturing and recording assessment evidence, the results of which are stored into our SAP learner management system.